Hello, welcome back to Everyman Prepping. Thank you for joining me today. What I want to talk about today is the mantra of never let a crisis go to waste. That is what we get from the Fed, the government, the powers that be, the elites, whoever you want to call them. Sometimes they create a crisis to push an agenda. That happens more often than you would think, and I believe that's happening now with the banking crisis. And what I'm talking about is the day after Signature Bank and Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, the Fed put out that their FedNow system, officially starting July, I told you this would happen. I said the Fed coin would come out, the digital currency, the CBDC, central bank digital currency, would be out, and it is. It's going to come in July, and in April, in fact, they're starting with the institutions. They're going to certify them and all that stuff. And I know some of you are thinking, well, the Fed now, they said, well, that is just a payment system. It's not a digital currency. It's going to be. They're slow walking it. Remember, 2 weeks to slow the curve. Keep your doctor, all that stuff. You got to start, you're going to boil this frog slowly. They can't just go all at once and say, bam, here's a digital currency. We're using it now. Get rid of your cash. They got to slowly walk it. So they're slowly starting with this FedNow payment system. But the digital currency is coming. So I want to talk about today. We're getting to an article here and talk about it and see what this means to all of us. What do we do to fight it? What can we do, if anything? So as we go through, please like, comment, and share on the video, and consider subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. So what we have here is the Federal Reserve will launch the FedNow payment service in July. Like I said, they're calling it a payment service. We're going to talk about what that means here. It says, as the banking system begins to collapse, the Federal Reserve is launching its FedNow program. How convenient. Banking system collapse, your cash isn't safe. Don't worry, government's here to help. We have an instant payment system that's all digital that'll take care of a lot of these issues we're having. It says the FedNow service will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You don't need to go to your bank. You don't need cash. You don't have to worry about the weekend running stuff. It's all digital. It says from instant bill payments, money transfers, including paychecks, and distributions from the government. So your direct deposit, it'll be available instantly. You can pay those bills instantly. Spend that money. Don't worry about coming and getting cash and all that. It says the system does not rely on blockchain technology and is operated by a consortium of large banks. Whew. Boy, that makes me feel good. Large banks are running this. That is just great. That should make you feel a little uneasy also. If large banks are running anything, it's not going to be good. It can't be good. If large banks are running it, why not put it on the blockchain? It's basically unhackable, open, you can see transactions, but no, not on the blockchain. So the only people who are going to have the data are the banks and the feds. Now, they said they're not going to collect data on what you're buying and what you're paying, but you know what I believe what's going to go on with that. It says the bank will begin their certifications, like I said, in April of financial institutions to make sure they're ready to go by July. And then I want to play this little video just so you can see what FedNow is. You can see how they're really pumping it up here. So let's take a listen really
people
quick.
and businesses expect to make and receive payments at the click of a button any time of the day, every day of the year. And most expect their financial institutions to offer or support payment services that meet the speed and convenience they seek. In fact, 3 in 4 businesses and 2/3 of consumers surveyed think it's important that their bank or credit union offer faster payments. Financial institutions interested in meeting these demands can use the Federal Reserve's upcoming FedNow service to build innovative payment offerings that can help them retain and attract customers and avoid losing out to the competition.
All right, that's enough of that. So, most banks, as you know, big banks already have Zelle payments. You can already do this. It's already instantaneous. So there's more behind this than what they're saying. Just keep that in mind. We already have things for this. Yeah, if you wire now, it takes forever because they use the SWIFT system. But this is all going to ride on the SWIFT system. It's all using information from the SWIFT, the FedWire. They're still using the information. They're just going to call it instantaneous, which they could do now. I don't know why it takes 2-3 days for a wire to go through when it could be. So is that a benefit? Yeah. But like I said, it's going to lead to worse stuff coming. It says the Federal Reserve announced the announcement of FedNow comes days after the collapse of the banks. Like I said, very convenient. It says proponents of the FedNow, so people in favor of it, so the system will get money to Americans living paycheck to paycheck and small businesses more quickly and provide 24-hour access as opposed to the current system that closes on the weekend. Yeah, we don't want to ever take a break, do we? So this is the official Fed release. I'll put it in the notes below in the description so you can see the actual release from the Fed if you want to read it. I want to point out something from the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, the vice president. He says, "We couldn't be more excited about the forthcoming FedNow launch, which will enable every participating financial institution, the smallest to the largest, so everybody can participate, from all corners of the country to offer a modern instant payment solution." I think that's basically called PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, all those other ones right now, but whatever. With the launch drawing near, we urge financial institutions and their industry partners to move full steam ahead with the preparations to join FedNow Service. So yes, they want everybody to join. Like I said, this sounds great. Like I said, we already have things that do this, but this is going to be controlled by the government, by a consortium of banks, and it will move eventually from this. As soon as it launches, you're going to start up, get people used to it, get excited, and then they're going to launch into the coin, the Fed coin, the CBDC. That will come. That's a prediction by me, of course, and a few other people out there that talk about this subject. You won't see that in mainstream media. You won't hear that from the Fed, but it is coming. And once they have that, we've talked about. I've done videos before on what that entails. Total control. Total knowledge about what you're doing, total information, and total control. To put time frames when it can expire. They could do negative interest on it, just take it away from you if you don't spend it. If you're a bad social person or you emit too much carbon, they can just subtract that from your account. None of it's good at all. So what do? You got to get out of the system as much as possible. I know you can't totally get out. You have direct deposit from your paycheck, it's going to go in there. But what can you do once it's in there? Remove it from the bank. Like I said, not financial advice. I always got to say this. Not a financial advisor. None of that applies. This is my opinion, an everyman prepper, and his common daily thoughts of what should go on. So, it could be in there digitally, but maybe just leave enough in there for the bills. You take the rest out. You put it in precious metals. You put it in Bitcoin, crypto, whatever. You move it into other hard assets. You get out of debt. The big one's in the debt. If you have car loans, car leases, the home loans, the credit card bills, the paycheck loans, any kind of debt, that's where they're going to trap you into this CBDC. They're going to give you incentive to use it to pay the debt. The less debt you have, the less you're beholden to the government, to the banks. I know it's hard to get out of debt sometimes, but you really got to work on it. The more freedom you'll have with the less loans you have. Buy the car cash, buy a used car. You don't need the newest trinket. Don't get home equity lines just to buy boats and other junk. You really want to trim your debt as this plays out and see, how after July, a few months after that, to see how it's going to play in the years to come, if we make it that far with all the war stuff going on. But this is coming. It's official now. They've never put the official date. So make preparations accordingly. Like I say, get out of debt. Have the amount in your bank just to pay your bills. That's what I would suggest. Any extra, you might want to find a good way to invest it. Talk to a financial advisor. Don't listen to me, what I would do, but have a plan for yourself. Do your own research. But this is not leading to anywhere good, especially when, like I said, banks are excited about it. The government's super excited about it. They're promising things. It's the slow-cooked frog. So just remember that. If you have any suggestions, you have opinions on this, please put in the comments below. If you have a question on this or anything else, also put that. We'll get back to you with answers. It's a great community that we're building here. I'm proud to be part of it. It's, based on all you guys. I appreciate everything you guys do and the support you give me. And until next time, keep your ear to the ground, head on a swivel.